The world of enterprise Linux distros is in a weird state right now, ever since Red Hat closed off access to their sources. In response to that, SUSE, Oracle, and CIQ, the company behind Rocky Linux, have formed a trade association, the OpenELA, whose goal is to provide sources for downstream RHEL distros to build from. And now, obviously, during the lifecycle of RHEL 8 and 9, it makes total sense for such an initiative. But what about the future? Red Hat has shown unwillingness for the idea of a free RHEL distros multiple times already. Let's go back to how this whole problem of RHEL rebuild started. CentOS was the most popular enterprise Linux rebuild out there, and in 2014 Red Hat acquired the project. At the time, this wasn't an issue, as new versions of CentOS continued to be released. However, on the 8th of December 2020, it was announced that the current release model would be abandoned in favor of CentOS Stream. This had two major implications. The first one being that CentOS 8 would lose support at the end of 2021, and the second one was that CentOS was now upstream instead of downstream of RHEL. As a result of these events, two new notable projects were created. Rocky Linux, founded by the creator of CentOS, Gregory Kurzer, and Alma Linux, which is backed by Cloud Linux. Both of these distributions have been successful in filling the gap left after CentOS by building enterprise Linux from sources provided in the CentOS Git repos. In June, Red Hat decided to close off public access to the RHEL sources used by downstream distributions, and the OpenELA has been formed. This is where we are now, and we know at this point that Red Hat is willing to make decisions hostile to the Linux community. In my opinion, we shouldn't keep enterprise Linux alive any longer than we need to. So what options could be suitable for the future of OpenELA and enterprise distros in general? An obvious answer that comes to mind would be SUSE, in the form of SUSE Linux Enterprise and OpenSUSE, simply because SUSE is not only an established player in the world of enterprise Linux, but is one of the members of OpenELA. It's also certainly not stuck in the past, utilizing new features such as Butterfest snapshots. It also offers an immutable variant which is planned to become the main release. Look, SUSE certainly sees an opportunity for growth in the OpenELA by strengthening their image and promoting their distribution, so I definitely imagine them not being in the RHEL business for a long time. Debian is perhaps another option for replacing RHEL. It is community run and focuses on software freedom, so I would expect them to never do shady things even under pressure from corporations. An issue for some people, however, could be that Debian releases are only supported for around 3 years by Debian security team, and then at least another 2 years by Debian LTS contributors. Ubuntu. Although Canonical's business model relies on corporate customers, they have been really quiet throughout the Red Hat controversy. They haven't dropped an announcement bashing IBM unlike Oracle, they haven't announced a new distro of their own, or anything along those lines, which is weird, because it would easily allow them to improve their image in the community. Obviously, helping Ubuntu wouldn't be in the interest of SUSE, so we can examine it as an option for individual people or companies, not the OpenELA. Ubuntu actually has a pretty fair way of operating. It's free for anyone to use with LTS releases being supported for 5 years. Canonical also offers Ubuntu Pro, which extends the support to 10 years as a paid subscription. One issue arises when examining the OpenELA. Will it even survive? Oracle is known not to being the friendliest towards free software, and SUSE's main distro doesn't depend on Red Hat, which would probably mean a push towards their own distribution. I'm hopeful that this doesn't create tension at the end of the OpenELA, which would be a huge blow to enterprise Linux distributions. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like and subscribe, maybe leave a comment, perhaps have some suggestions on how the world of enterprise Linux could go. So yeah, goodbye.